Jacoby. We are Jalen Jacoby. What exactly is it that we do? Yes! Yes!
They won.
Jalen, we have so much to discuss, but we have to start with the Los Angeles Lakers. They went up against the Clippers yesterday, and they didn't just not win. They didn't look great.
They got waxed.
They didn't look great. Anthony Davis got hurt. Jalen, how do you feel about the state of the Lakers right now as we head to the playoffs?
The state of the Lakers is they're literally limping towards the end of the season. Couple of injuries, Anthony Davis and LeBron James. Dennis Schroeder's been out of the lineup for COVID protocols. They're in grave danger, Jacoby, of legitimately finding themselves a part of the play-in.
Oh, yeah?
I think the Mavs have distinguished themselves. I think they are going to probably be the 5th seed. This was a great win by the Clippers to continue to further the Lakers' despair. And I'm telling you, family.
What?
I'm telling you, family. If the Lakers are involved in the play-in, they will not win this year's championship.
No, say it again, because I want to make sure that we have this on video and audio recording. Say it again. Say it again. Get your bat and say it again, because you're wrong. Okay. You're wrong. Go ahead, say it.
If the Lakers are a part of this year's playoff scenario,
play-in scenario.
Play-in scenario. If the Lakers are a part of this year's play-in scenario, they will not win the title.
Okay. Let me explain why you're wrong for a bunch of reasons. Number one.
Whoa.
Number one.
Wow.
Anthony Davis is fine.
Okay.
LeBron James is coming back.
Oh, he's fine.
Yes, he's fine.
That's what you see?
Yes, absolutely. That's exactly what I saw.
Got it.
You know him. He falls down a lot.
Got it.
And I don't know if you know this, but there's a history with LeBron James and the NBA Finals. And he has made it 9 out of the last 10 years. So we've done this show for 10 years. 9 times LeBron James has been in the finals. So you're going to say LeBron Raymond James Sr. is not going to be in the finals this year. Go ahead and say it again into a microphone.
Here's why I'm saying that. Yes, I'll say it again. If the Lakers are a part of the play-in, they will not win the title.
The Jazz going to beat them. The Suns going to beat them.
Here's why, Jacoby. This is why you take the field. Because they have no room for error. It ain't that Anthony Davis got injured. It's how he got injured. That's your margin of error. You get into the play-in, Jacoby, and all of a sudden, Anthony Davis hurts his ankle. They lose.
And then they win the next one.
That's how this works. And again, I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm picking the Phoenix Suns in a 7-game series against the Lakers. I'm not.
That's basically what you're saying.
If they're healthy, I'm not.
They're going to be healthy. You're going to bet against LeBron going to the finals. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
We've been doing the show for 10 years.
Yes.
9 out of those 10 years, he's been in the finals. The only time he wasn't was when he was injured, and he's not injured.
That's a great point. You're handsome, you're intelligent, you're well-read.
Thank you.
But I'm going to tell you something. There's no room for error when you're a part of the play-in. When the last time a 7 seed won a championship? Thank you.
They're not a 7 seed yet. They might be an 8 seed. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Well, Jalen, that is the Lakers in the West. We also disagree about a team in the East. The Brooklyn Nets, they went up against the Mavs and didn't look great for Kevin Durant. Seemed like Luka got the best of him on the offensive end time and time again. What do you think about the Mavs Nets last night?
I think that Luka continues to elevate himself not only into superstardom, but being the elite player that has to literally carry his franchise for them to be successful on a nightly basis and in the postseason. Each night when I'm watching them play, it's like, if this was the park and you were going to pick players, like last night, you'll pick a few of the Nets before you pick somebody from the Mavs if you were at the park. You saw Kyrie last night, right?
45.
You see Kyrie?
45.
Was he outstanding? Was he
amazing?
Was he dynamic?
Amazing.
Between the legs, behind the back, finish. Nobody can stop
finishing
that guy.
Everywhere.
That's what a Harlem Globetrotter would look like playing in the NBA. It's outstanding. And I know James Harden is going to eventually come back. I know that he is. But I appreciate chemistry. I respect the bigs in the East, like Bam, like Giannis, like Embiid. I respect the journey. And I'm also telling you, David Jacoby, this is not the year for your Nets.
Okay. First of all,
this is not the year for you. And by the way, I got to just say this. I'm no fool. I work in television. If it was up to Jalen, I would love to see AD, LeBron, the big three of Brooklyn Nets in the finals. I would love to see that. I would love to see that. But if they don't get the number 1 seed, which they're not, if they don't get the number 2 seed, which they're probably not, your Nets and your pick is going to come up lame this year.
There's no difference between the 2 and the 3 seed in the East because they play each other in the second round. So that's fine.
Okay.
But what I'm telling you is, Jay, you do this time and time again. You did it with the West, and now you're doing it with the East. It's like you forgot. The talent wins 7-game series. They just do. And while Luka looked great, he needs more help.
He does. He needs more
Kyrie looked great. He has more people. James Harden said that he's very confident that he'll be available for the playoffs. Now, Mr. Rose, when we have James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant on the floor at the same time, you're going to pick against this team in a 7-game series. Go ahead and do it into a microphone right now.
So you have to teach me something. You have to teach me how to bet the field. Does that mean each series I pick against them?
Yeah.
Is that what that means?
Yeah.
That means every series I'm picking against them.
Would you pick against them in a series against the Heat?
If I'm taking the field, that's why I'm asking your advice. If I'm taking the field, that means whoever they play, I have to pick against them, right?
Pretty much.
So that's what I'm going to do.
Well, you know what? I'm going to pick them in every series.
Okay.
And it's going to be the Nets and the Lakers in the finals. And we're going to play this show back to you when it's the Nets and the Lakers in the finals. You're betting against LeBron James. You're betting against Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden on the same team. You're a very smart basketball mind, which is why I'm so confounded by you deciding that the Brooklyn Nets are not going to come out of the East.
I'll tell you a couple of reasons. Don't underestimate chemistry. And when you put Kyrie Irving's numbers up there, you know what you didn't put up there? Assists. And when their big 3 comes back, you know what they're going to be doing? Taking turns. And that's great. You can take turns when you got these offensive weapons that are so outstanding. But I respect the journey. I appreciate chemistry. I think they're going to have trouble defending powerful bigs. And therefore, that's going to ultimately be their downfall.
Jalen, you're right. They are going to have trouble defending powerful bigs. You're absolutely right. It's a great point, Jalen. But do you think the other team's going to have trouble defending, I don't know, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant? You think maybe that could possibly be a scenario too?
One ball.
Yeah, and it's going to be in one of their hands every single possession. Because you know what? Giannis has to sit in the bench for a little bit.
No, he don't.
Yeah, Embiid has to sit in the bench for a little bit. Like, they always have 2 of the top 12 players in the NBA on the floor. They're going to win the East, just like the Lakers are going to win the West. What don't you see is my question. What don't you see about this?
I don't see them playing together. I've only seen it 7 times.
All right, we're going to see in the first round, you're going to change your pick. I promise you, you're going to pick the Nets over the Bucks in the second round. I promise you're going to do that. I'm here already. I look forward to you joining me in about 4 weeks. I look forward to that. I also look forward to the Tokyo Olympics.
Love when I'm wrong.
I know you're wrong already. It hasn't even happened yet. You're already wrong. I also look forward to the Tokyo Olympics. And the Tokyo Olympics, they've just sort of reiterated a rule that they've had for a long time, that during the Olympics is not a time for making political statements, including any Black Lives Matter apparel will not be allowed by athletes. Jalen Rose, how do you see this playing out in real time when it comes time for the Olympics?
Why y'all got to single us out? You know what I'm saying? Like, why y'all got to single us out?
This is global.
Right?
Yeah.
This is an international Olympics, right? Why do you specifically have to acknowledge that the Black Lives Matter portion of it will not be tolerated? Why? Is because that's a huge stage. And since the beginning of time, look back to Tommy Smith and John Carlos, the late 60s. They did the exact
Mexico
same
City.
thing. And they were ostracized from society. And think about what they put their fist in the air for. They were basically acknowledging we are not free and equal in our own country, but because I'm a talented athlete, my country allows me to compete and represent them. I don't care about your feelings. I don't care about your well-being. I don't care about what you have to say. Just entertain me. And so they can continue to highlight this rule, but at some point, with so much happening across the globe, there will be individuals that use that stage in order to express themselves outside of just the score of a game.
This is going to backfire. Go ahead and tell the athletes that they don't have a voice. Go ahead, tell them they're not allowed to be political, that they're not allowed to support Black Lives Matter. Go ahead and tell them that, and guess what's going to happen? They're going to do it.
Correct.
One way or the other. It might not be a shirt, but it'll be a statement. It might not be a fist in the air, but it'll be words out of their mouth. It's going to happen, and I think that this sort of reiteration of them supporting this archaic rule is going to backfire on them. They'll see it twofold.
Do you know how much athletes get paid in the Olympics?
$0.
Boom. Say that again.
$0, 0
Okay,
cents.
cool. So you're not paying me, right? And I still can't have an opinion. This is going to backfire. You're exactly right.
It is time for Soft Move or Boss Move. Look, I'll say it out loud. No one else wants to admit it. I have no idea which one is Jake Paul, which one is Logan Paul. But one of them is fighting Floyd Mayweather, but it wasn't the one who's fighting Floyd Mayweather that took his hat during the press conference and ran away. Jalen Anthony Rose, soft move or boss move, taking someone's hat and then running away with it.
This is a soft move. Because back in the day, when you had beef on the playground, you put something on your shoulder and say, I dare you to knock it off. I dare you to knock it off. Same with the hat. You hit their hat. That's automatic beef. For me, they're just trying to sell the fight. The person that Floyd's fighting isn't the person that stole his hat.
Yeah.
And so, again, like, how about we've made the Paul family rich?
We have.
How about that?
We have. Good for them.
We've made the
Congratulations
Paul
to them.
family rich. But if you take somebody's hat, that's beef.
And you know,
I see why Floyd went after him.
Because Floyd looks like Floyd hasn't had a cut in a long time.
That was staged.
Looks like Floyd hasn't had a cut in a long time.
Can I tell everybody a secret? Let me tell everybody a secret.
What's that?
You can't get close to Floyd Mayweather. You cannot get close to Floyd Mayweather.
It's so disrespectful to take somebody's hat.
If you're going to get close, if you're going to get, well, you know, I got your hat. I got your cardboard in your hat and everything. 1 a.m. and you know I'm gonna get crisp for those doubleheader games tonight. Crisp.
Good for you. Coming to you live from the South Street Seaport District of Manhattan, and brought to you by Chase. Welcome back to Jalen Jacoby. Jalen, it is time for the segment where you decide what we discuss. It is.
Thank you.
Keep it moving.
Woo, tang, woo, tang.
If you want to discuss the topic, say hit the brakes. If not, we will keep it moving. And we start with, oh, ho-hum, another huge triple-double from Russell Westbrook. Guess we won't even talk about it.
Hit the brakes.
Jalen, he had 13 points, 17 rebounds, and 17 assists in a basketball game.
I want to just make sure everybody understands something. Enjoy what you're seeing from Brody, because we'll never see this again.
Never?
Never. And here's why. His ability to play make at his size is as well as we've seen in the history of the game. He's led the league in scoring. He's led the league in assists. But the game-changing thing that his speed and athleticism allows him to do is grab rebounds.
It's crazy.
It's grab rebounds.
17 rebounds. You know how many centers had 17 rebounds yesterday? None.
There you go.
He's the only one.
There you go.
Jalen, you know what? They put a topic about the Detroit Lions in the rundown. Keep it moving. Keep it moving on the Lions. We got to keep it moving. No one cares about the Lions except for you, dog.
Confidence.
Keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
We keep it moving. We keep it moving.
Steph Curry had a big night last night in a game against the Thunder. Keep it moving or hit the brakes.
I'll say hit the brakes really quick.
Okay. Why do you say that, sir?
When LeBron James speaks into a microphone about not liking to play in, I want to introduce him to a couple of people. LaMelo Ball, Russell Westbrook, Bradley Beal, Steph Curry, Dame Lillard.
Yes.
This is why we're excited about the play-in. And last but not least, LeBron and AD.
Well, whether or not they're in the play-in tournament, they're going to be watching the play-in tournament. If you really don't like LeBron, don't watch, because everybody that loves the NBA is going to be watching this. The ratings are going to be out of control, and I can't wait for the play-in tournament this year. Moving on. Jalen, there's a young man in Brooklyn, New York that did something amazing.
Hit the brakes.
With his parents' Amazon account. Ladies and gentlemen, he is 4 years old. And there he is right there. He loves SpongeBob. He loves SpongeBob popsicles. So he took his parents' Amazon account and ordered $3,000 of SpongeBob popsicles. Jalen Anthony Rose, what would you do if your child ordered $3,000 worth of popsicles to the crib?
Well, I know what would happen to me if I did that. I would have got a whooping with a belt. Old school style.
Well, the opposite happened here. His parents started a GoFundMe to get the money back, and they raised more than the $3,000, and they're putting the extra money towards his education. Shout out to this kid.
Shout out to that young, handsome king and entrepreneur.
Love this kid. Moving on, we have some sad news about Albert. Keep moving or hit the brake.
You know what? Hit the brakes for this. I want to make sure we celebrate King Albert.
Albert Pujols has been with the Angels a long time. With the Angels no more, has essentially been waived. How do you feel about that?
I feel that his years in St. Louis in particular propelled him to Hall of Fame status.
Oh, he's going.
Right? Not only at being a champion, but like hitting for power and average at that size. See, usually the guys his size would hit for power, but not necessarily hit for average. He was different because he was doing both. And then when he got the 10-year contract with the Angels, it was great for him and great for the game, but it wasn't necessarily great for the team. And there's two different Alberts. There's one with the Cardinals for 11 years, and there's one with the Angels.
Big difference.
For 10 years. Big time difference.
Jalen, you remember now that collegiate athletes can get paid from endorsements. Well, guess what? The state of Georgia has a new law where 75% of the money that these athletes make from endorsements can go back to the school to be redistributed. How do you feel about that?
There's a reason why people tell you to shut up and dribble and stick to sports, because they understand the power and the influence that athletes have. This is no different than the topic we just had about the Olympics and trying to muzzle their players. So let me get this right. In particular, football players and or basketball players, that money funds the entire athletic program, first off, for the most part, in most cases. So second, those same players get the opportunity to go get endorsements, do appearances, or whatever.
Outside of the school.
Outside of the school, just me being myself. And now I get that money, and you're going to take 75 cents on the dollar.
75 cents on the dollar. So if I get $1,000 from Nike, I have to give up 750 of those dollars back to the school. That, to me, is oppressive and ridiculous. And do you know what that does?
It's not going to help them.
It makes people not want to play collegiate athletics in Georgia.
No, this doesn't help Kirby Smart. This does not help Tom Green.
No, not at all. If you have an option to play at Texas or Georgia, given this information, which school are you going to choose?
It's a no-brainer. The one with no state taxes also.
Do you know who always wins somehow? Alabama. Alabama always wins. Somehow, Alabama won this too. Moving on, we have some movie news, Jalen Rose.
What's that?
You're an actor, right? I've seen your
thespian.
Yeah, thespian. They're casting a new Superman, and they're looking for a black Superman. Jalen, are you going to put yourself in the running for black Superman?
I'm available.
Look at you. Don't you look good in the suit?
I got my shirt off, weight, and everything. Hit the brakes on this one. Look at my hair. I look so handsome. I need that. I need that.
You don't look handsome.
Can I let my hair grow like that?
You do not look handsome.
I just see Above the Law and my guy Hush to do the soundtrack. It was once said by an old low G. Always try to come up. Yeah, and that's a G. Like Superman.
Jalen.
That's got to be the theme song.
We have one final topic that involves this program. Keep moving or hit the brakes.
Yeah, hit the brakes.
Hit the brakes on this one. We have to give a shout out to someone who's been part of our family here on the Jalen Jacoby staff, Andrea Masenda. She has moved on, not from ESPN, but to another show with respected hosts that prepare real journalists and a real staff and a real budget. How do you feel about that, Mr. Rose?
Congratulations, Andrea. We appreciate your contributions to the show, to the calls, making us better each day on television and on our podcast. We're forever grateful for your influence.
Appreciate you so much, Andrea. Moving on, Jalen, we have a very special Mother's Day tribute coming up right after a very short break. Don't change the channel. Stay tuned.
Level of prestige now that I lost my mom, because she created the name. She gave me a sense of pride in the name that it was going to propel me to greatness. With her not being here and the name going to live long beyond both of us, I just want to make sure that people know that Jeannie Rose created that name.
Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Jalen, Mother's Day is upon us. You lost your mother this year. She created the name Jalen. There's going to be a piece all weekend long about it. How do you feel right now in this moment?
I'm grateful to Pablo and Team ESPN for highlighting my mom. This is going to be a really tough weekend for a lot of people, including my family and myself. This has been like the toughest 15 months of my adult life. And I'm different. And hopefully having those angels in heaven and having my mother looking down at me to give me guidance and to give me light, because I'm going to need it. I'm definitely going to need it. So I appreciate the prayers and the well wishes for this really tough weekend.
Big shout to all the mothers around the world. This is your weekend. Make sure you are treated like the queen that you are. We'll be back on Monday.